What it do, y'all?
All right, all right, all right.
How y'all
Shout out
doing?
to Cuban Love, right back at you. What's good? My
What
brother,
up?
my sister, what's happening?
What it do? You ready?
Salute,
What?
man. Yeah, you
Y'all
know,
ready?
it's for sit down. That's what we do. So
You
once
ready?
again, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for tuning in for Monday's edition of the Sit Down with Truth is Told and Real Story Forward. Once again, my name is Malik. I'm your host, along with my brother Oran and my sister CDL. I want to touch on something that's been real prevalent in the media, right? And that's these 50 states in the United States, right? 50 states. 47 states in less than a month have passed a bill to restrict voter rights in the Black and brown communities. And it's not being discussed enough, as far as I'm concerned, and my sister and my brother is concerned, amongst the Black population online, amongst the younger people online, on the internet. It's being chatted about here and there, but we need to start making some noise about this, right? Because what these people are trying to do, right, is not just go back to the Jim Crow law. What they're doing is criminal. What they're doing is criminal.
Voter
And they need to be
suppression.
accountable, but we can't hold them accountable being silent. We have to speak up on this. We have to attack this the way they attack media, because what they're doing, it is criminal. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it to my sister CDL and let her get to it.
Well, I want to elaborate on that. Like, I'm trying to figure out what part of the Constitution or what part of the movement so many years ago to provide us the ability to vote. Where's all that in play with all these laws that are being passed? Because I haven't done the research, so I'm asking my brothers. Like, what the hell? What the hell? Like, I want to know, how is that even possible? How are they getting away with it? I mean, well, we know how they get away with it, but I mean, what are they saying they're getting away with it? How are they getting away with this, Malik? Like, how is voter suppression and taking away our rights legal?
Well, right now
Does it go back? The second part question. Does it go back to what Oran was talking about, like the second show, about how when we were talking about the Constitution needs to be rewritten? Like, where is it coming from? Is that what it is? It's a question to you, my brother.
Well, brother, sister, I wholeheartedly agree with you in respect to the Constitution. Where's it coming from? But I think it starts with the power structure here in the United States and the dynamics of politics and those who are in power. Because when you have the majority in power and they don't look like us, and the power structure doesn't accurately portray the fullness of its citizens in terms of race, color, ethnicity, yes, you're going to have that problem. And that's why I say that we need to all try to move our children, our kids, towards politics. Everybody doesn't have to be a rapper, baseball player, football player, the basketball star, and those are all good fields, but we need to learn more about politics. And those of us who are a little bit older, we have, that time may have passed for us to actually get into that arena. But, we have our children and we need to guide them towards that, because before anything can actually change, right, the numbers and the look and the face has to change. Because left to the devices and the people we have now, we're always going to get what we've been getting. So, I mean, it's a crazy situation what's going on there in Georgia and around the country right now. And we need to get involved, man, and raise hell. Malik?
I mean, it was a slap in the face to me, man. Like Mr. P, he just chimed in and he wrote the whole Constitution in itself needs to be rewritten, by people of color, right? he said more than that, right? But I agree, and like the brother just said, right? Inclusion, right? We're not, our inclusion is minimal, right? When I say minimal, there aren't enough black Supreme Court justices, right? They're not many blacks representing the federal system, right? The majority, right, is European American white males. You understand? And these people, they fear change. That could be wrong, but my opinion is based on what I've read, right, and what I see, right, and listen to on. Because I listen to the double speak, I listen to the double entendres. You understand? I listen to the misnomers, and I listen to the things that's also not being said when I'm watching somebody on the news. But I like to critique. You understand? I don't just, oh yeah, that's because it sounds good and it feels good as facts. No, I'm going to listen to what you're saying, and I'm going to listen to what you're not saying as well, and let the facts fall where they may. You understand? But with that being said, like the brother said, we don't have to always allow our children, like for example, if I see my grandson, right, he's 14 years old, just turned 14 March 2nd, and he nice with the basketball, point guard wise, he can dribble past the ball. I'm not going to guide him to basketball as a profession. Maybe I will assist him in getting involved in a program, a basketball program, because sports programs for the young people, it open up doors for other opportunities, not just sports related. You understand? It teaches them things about camaraderie, teamwork, being a team player, and it's not just in sports. You understand? But I agree with the brother. We have to start. I'm saying this because this is a newfound belief. I haven't always believed this way. I haven't always felt this way. I haven't always been about the things that we speak about in the city. I was in bugging, being a gangster, a criminal, you understand? And anything and everything underneath that. And I was comfortable doing that. But that's who I am. That's what I did, right? I'm still trying to find out who I am because I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly doing. You understand? And my story is constantly being written. But the brother also made a profound statement when he said a lot of us are of an age where it may be too late to get involved in politics on a national level. But grassroots wise, you're not too old to get involved in the grassroots sense. You understand? Because silence is violence. You understand? If you agree, and if you don't speak, even with your homies, your girlfriend, you understand, your comrade, co-worker, colleague, start a dialogue that you start, it may start a chain reaction within you and the people around you. So if we're not involved, if I'm not involved in something, you understand, and trying to change things that's affecting me and mine, I can't complain about it when the shoe is stepping on me and it smells like shit. I can't complain when somebody got their foot in my, literally, you understand? Got your foot on my neck. You understand? Oppressing me. If I'm not trying to move your foot and make change, I can't complain about shit. So we need to get more involved, start talking to our children and our grandchildren about politics. You understand? The Constitution, because the Constitution is the law of this country, man. And these people are tweaking in the Constitution now in order to amend voting rights restrictions, tweaking, man. And the brother said a few seconds ago, the Constitution needs to be rewritten. And like Brother Mr. P said, it needs to be rewritten by
breaking up just a little bit. But we heard you.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm getting,
well, I mean, I agree, and and it's been on my mind a lot ever since O'Ron brought that topic up the other day, a couple shows ago, about rewriting the Constitution, and then listening to what you were just saying and what Mr. P.
That was heavy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it needs to happen.
That was a profound statement.
It needs to happen. This example that you guys are talking about, or that what we're talking about what's happening in all these states right now, is another nail in that idea. You know what I'm saying? Like that idea needs to be nailed down. You know, and this is what's bothering me. You know, for those of y'all watching, I don't know if you noticed the title of our show. It's called Monday Madness, right? And we named it that because there are so many. I'm trying to use not use too colorful language. I'm gonna try to do the right thing. I'm trying to do the whole. I'm trying to do the right thing. Somebody help!
Hold on. Hold on to it.
Somebody help me.
Hold it.
I'm so
Write down on that.
Freaking irritated. I'm freaking irritated about everything that's going on in the whole country. Like from that you just spoke about to the George Floyd case to the everything that we talk about. I am so grateful for the sit down because I think that I would go postal if I didn't have my brothers to talk to a couple times a week. And our viewers, they give us the feedback because I think that I would go postal. I think that I would be in a very dark place mentally and emotionally if I did not have some people to debrief with, right? Because sitting in watching the state and condition of life as we know it is disturbing on so many levels. You know, we're dealing with this voter suppression, and then, you know, my thing is one of the topics I want to talk about tonight is the whole defund the police. And the reason why I want to bring this up is because several different reasons. One, all last summer, after George Floyd had that knee in his neck, there was a whole lot of protesting, a whole lot of fists in the air, a whole lot of signs made, right? And nothing was done. The topic of conversation. Well, let me finish.
What do you mean nothing was done?
Nothing has changed.
What do you mean nothing was done? About what?
Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. We walked in circles at the police. Told them, I don't need you to let me finish, my brother. Nothing has changed. They defunded the police. They took I'm talking about LA. They took $150 million from LA police department, sheriff department, right, to give to the community. Well, there's two problems with that. Who's the voice of the black people that's saying where that money is going to go? That's number one. Who appointed Black Lives Matter as the spokespersons for all black people and those communities? Because the leaders of those Black Lives Matter organization does not live in those communities. Guarantee that. Seen their house. So who's determining where that's going to be allocated to, right? Who's the voice? Not only that, in LA, where it was defunded from, were the special units, gang task force. All the units that had something to do with our communities, gang task force. Not highway patrol that does a mass amount of shootings, right, on highways and, you know, speedways. Human trafficking, the drug unit, right? They took it from the special units that are part of
doing the damage
situations that's going in our communities, right? This is the beautiful, funny, hilarious part. They just refunded the police in LA, $36 million, refunded. And according to some of the readings, BLM was actually in support of that because there's so much violence happening and crime. So I'm like so irritated. They keep, you know, and this is another part of the defunding, and you can't talk about defunding without the protests, right? Because they're kind of hand in hand in this situation, right? So I can go back to when I was boots on the ground, when I was out there and I was pro Black Lives Matter all day, every day, 24 hours a day. I was not at home. I was out there from 8 in the morning until 1 in the morning, every day, shutting it down until I seen Black Lives Matter meeting with the police afterwards. Until I noticed after about 2 months, the police are telling us what time of the day we're going to march and what blocks we will march on. And we only marched on those blocks, right?
Yeah,
and
I didn't know that.
When I'm watching them work with the police, then all of a sudden I don't even see police presence anymore. They don't even care about us being out there no more. Police gone. We out there by ourselves. Who are we marching to? Who are we talking to? ourselves, each other, that ain't making nothing happen, right? And we thought we did something because we got some defunding of the police, but their asses just refunded them. You know what I mean? Not only that, and this is a segue to this, and then I'm gonna let you guys speak on it because I'm sure you guys have had your own experiences with it. I've done thorough research. I'm one of the shows that we do. I'm gonna do the thorough breakdown of BLM. Right? This isn't my opinion. I looked up the facts and got the receipts. Right? But this segues into two things: allies versus accomplices. Right? White silence is violence. White silence is violence. Now, silence, what does that mean? I'm not talking about your fist in the air or talking about Black Lives Matter or the hashtag on TikTok. I'm talking about what are you doing, right? When the rubber meet the road, is you going to stand shoulder to shoulder, right? Hip to hip with the brothers and sisters, right? There's a difference between allies and accomplices. And most of the people that are marching with Black Lives Matter are not Black. So accomplices is important in this conversation, right? Because there's hardly any, especially in LA. You know why? And I went out and talked to several people. Because burning down our own neighborhoods didn't do no good in 92. Right? We didn't get nowhere. We're in the same situation from Rodney King to now. Right? One of the reasons why this topic is, I'm so passionate about it and why I'm bringing it up is because I've been listening to a lot of accomplices and allies talk about if George Floyd's killer gets off, which, you know, there's a 95% chance he will, right? It's not about them being, it's not even about, no, let me finish. Even if he's not off, even if he don't get off, right? Because they don't want this disruption, this civil unrest, what is the sentence going to be? That's going to be the issue, right? Because you can get convicted and get no time. We've seen that too. But my issue is this. Right? Listen, my issue, let me finish. My issue is this. People are saying if he gets off, let's just say he gets off, right? That it's going down. People all over the country are saying it's going to go down. My question is this. Do you know how many killings has happened since George Floyd? Why are we waiting for this moment? None of the cops, look, there's been 15 deaths since George Floyd in LA by cops killing Black men, shooting them in the back. None of them are on trial. Why are we waiting for George Floyd's killer to make a determination if it should go down or not? Right? Someone was hung in LA 2 days ago. We've had 3 hangings in the LA since George Floyd. Why isn't it going down? That's my question. Am I promoting burning down some shit? I will not confirm nor deny that. What I'm saying is that whatever movements we are trying to have, why are we waiting on George Floyd's killer response or result? Like, either we are going to come together or we're not. We're just going to keep talking about it and keep letting it happen. Along with the suppression, voter suppression, along with the fact that the Asian community just got $50 million donated, signed by Biden to promote them and their issues with racial injustice. 50 million allocated to them and Pacific Islanders. 1.1 million goes to the Asian communities and programs supporting them. But Blacks have been going through this for hundreds of years. And a few Asians get beat up, and now all of a sudden they get $1.1 million. Like, all of it together has me really, really irritated. You know what I'm saying? Like, when is it gonna stop? It's not. If we wait on them, right? If we wait on them, it's not gonna stop. It's gonna keep going. So at what point do we really make a stand? Not marching in a circle, but make a stand. I don't know exactly what that's gonna look like. I don't know if it's gonna be Malcolm X stand or Martin Luther King stand. I don't know. But it's a question that everyone should ask themselves. Are they just gonna go home and watch the news, eat their dinner, go to bed, and go back to work the next day and act like it's not happening? That's my question. Right? I know I just said a whole lot because I needed to get it off my chest. That's why it's called Monday Night.
We can unpack some of Malik. Let me jump in right quick. just the other day, I was speaking with someone, right, who actually watched the show. And they said, you guys seem so angry. You guys seem like you're anti-government. You guys seem like you're mad. You know, you're down BLM. You're down the vice president. You talk about this person. Why are you so angry? And to all the viewers out there, and to the people that's tuning in and those who haven't seen the show yet, don't confuse passion with anger. See,
or
we're
truth.
passionate about what we speak of, or truth with anger.
Yeah.
Anger is an emotion. We all get angry at something at sometimes in our lives. That doesn't mean we want to go firebomb something, take arms to the government, or say off with their head. You know, anger fuels the passion that we have to come on this show 2 days a week to bring to you guys, the viewers, the topics and the issues that not only matter to us, but matter to you. The sit down is about having a dialogue. We're not right and you're wrong, and you're not right and we're wrong. What we present to you are issues, facts, so we can have a conversation, okay? So we are family. I want to say to all our day ones and the people that come on this show faithfully to support us, we appreciate you. We salute you, and this is Black love, and this is love. Because you show us not only that we matter, that you matter, because you take the time to tune in, hear what we have to say, and be able so we can go back and forth and get an understanding. We're not always going to agree, but as long as we can have dialogue, we can get to a better place. And as you said, sister, you know, people are going to parse what you just said about BLM, about this group, that group, and say, why are they talking, and why is she talking against our sisters? Black Lives Matter. Listen, this is my problem with a lot of people.
I'll tell you.
This is my problem with a lot of people, my people, your people, any person, is that when you speak on a particular topic or subject, I don't care what it is, from religion to what's happening in the judicial system, court system, unemployment, welfare, whatever, and a thing doesn't particularly agree with the people you're talking to, because oftentimes you hit a chord in people when they get angry and come back disrespectfully and violent, because oftentimes it is them that we are talking about and they can't handle it. But it bothers me when, you know, this cancel culture thing is real, because it's like you can't even say anything about anyone without someone being offended. You say, you're Asian bashing, and you're this bashing. We've been bashed for decade after decade after decade after century, okay? And it pisses me off when I hear men and women. Malik, just the other day, I don't know if it was on your page, just the other day, I was watching an interview. It was with our brother Papoose. He was on the Breakfast Club, right? And he was talking to old boy, Charlemagne. And Papoose was saying that he is in full support, and he salutes our Black queen, okay, the vice president. He salutes her, he respects her. And why is it that every time when we get someone who gets to a certain position, we put them down? And see, I understand what he's saying, but that's not necessarily the truth, Papoose. Right. And salute to you, brother. You know that. We have to tell it like we know it, because what it is that when we speak, when you speak, when Cuban Love speaks, when the brother Mr. P speaks, when Roland Wright speaks, and we start talking about facts, we get under people's skin, the next thing come is, why are you putting your people down? We're not putting our people down. We are speaking facts about our people that no one wants to accept. If your father in your home was molesting his kids all the time he was raising the kids, right? And because he's black or African American and he's a father, you know, and it's crazy. In a lot of families, they hide that. It's a shame. They suppress it because they don't want it to get out there, okay? And we'll cover for the assailant, rather the victim, okay? So when we speak about the vice president, or we speak about BLM, or we speak about Martin Luther King, well, you can't even speak about Martin Luther King and say, you know, his philanderings and his extramarital affairs. No one wants to hear that because it's a slander to him, because we hold him in such regard and reverence. It's like to talk about the truth. Oh, here y'all go, bashing one of our heroes, okay? I get bashed every day for speaking the truth, Malik and CDL, okay? So when we bring to you facts, things that you all know and have heard and know the truth, why shouldn't we speak on the truth? We can't say, oh, I respect this person for this part, but we don't look at the other parts of the person as well.
We don't want to hold people accountable.
We don't want to hold people accountable because in the African American community, it's called bashing. And like Papoose said the other day, he said that it's wrong that we put Vice President Harris down. We're not putting her down. We're only speaking facts because when she was introduced as the first term Congresswoman, she was not introduced as a black woman or African American. She was introduced as Asian. It only became comfortable in the thing to say and do when she started running for vice president. Oh, she's a sister now. Yeah. Look at all the black men and women she locked up down there and even tried to help and fought against a man when the judge and the district attorney said, we want to help overturn this case. This is our vice president. So that's not a bad thing. We're not bashing her. We're just telling the truth. If you know something about me, I've been in prison. And people can take my record and say, well, we can talk about shit about you as well. Feel free to do so because I know what I've done in my life. I'm not going to try to explain it away. I'm going to acknowledge it and we can talk about it and we can just move on because I have to live with it, not you. But I'm not ashamed. I'm not embarrassed. There's a lot of things I've done in my life I'm ashamed about, but it's not something I'm going to hide and not acknowledge. So when we bring out certain points and issues and instances about certain people, don't think, Brother Papoose, that we love, that we are bashing Kamala Harris. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, don't say it, because all you're doing is making the general public look at her in this kind of light, and because why would you say what the white man said every single day? Excuse me, certain groups of Caucasians of people, because I have a lot of Caucasian friends. I hate when I say white because, anyway, this is white. I'm not saying the person in my life yet. Yes?
Let me say something to that. You know, it's interesting. So, like, when we did bring up Kamala Harris, and a lot of people don't like that, I'm quite sure. You're right. It was about bringing up the facts. And I remember when I brought it up, it goes with what I was just talking about, the topic I was just talking about. You don't see a whole lot of protesting and stuff going on no more because they threw us a crumb called Kamala Harris. They threw us a crumb. We thought that we came up on something, and then everyone sits down again, and the fight does not continue. And that's why I brought it up.
Me personally, I wouldn't necessarily call her a crumb because she is someone. But
no, not her. No, it's not her that's a crumb. They throw us crumbs, and then we sit back again. Now, the crumb that they threw us was Kamala Harris, and it wasn't. I think she's a crumb. I'm saying they throw us crumbs from their table, and we shut the fuck up again. We stopped the movement.
You know why?
Again. Every time.
You know why?
Why?
These people, right, that are in positions of power, they got to that position for a reason. You understand? They play chess, man. Every move these people make, they make it collectively, they make and thought out, well out, right? Before Trump even, right? They knew that they was going to use Trump and put him out there in the forefront and do certain things to create certain havoc and invoke certain emotions in the people, you understand? And let certain things take place, and then it's on to the next. That's just what these people do, man. You understand? They play chess, but they play chess with us. We're the pieces. We're the pieces. Minor queen, they're the king and they're the chess player. You understand? We're the pawn. We're the knight. We're the bishop. We're the horse. But we're not the king and the queen because we can't be allowed to be making moves, man.
Absolutely.
You understand? These people are playing lives this for centuries, man. It's the art of politics. You just get it, you run for office, you get a title to their madness. We just don't know the methods of the madness. We're not proud of the methods of the madness. And so for the black folks and the brown folk that are in, for the black and brown that are within those halls, those halal halls, you understand? And behind them halal walls, they know. But if you want to stay in that seat, right, you're going to get in when you fit in, you understand? You're going to toe the line, and you speak out, we'll get you out of here. You understand? So, I mean, they can't have it both ways, but they do. They do have it both ways.
And we play into it every time. You're breaking up again.
You know why? You know why? It is what it is, man. Listen, man, they know we ain't gonna do shit.
Right.
Right? They know we're not gonna do anything that's gonna, they know that we're not going to do. I'm talking about American people. I'm not talking about no color, no race, no creed or religion. They know we, the people, we ain't gonna do nothing. You understand? Because we don't have the power to make effective changes. We don't have the power to effectuate change that's going to be consistent and long lasting. They do. So they're not stunting the, you know, the Major League Baseball, the All-Star game in Atlanta and Georgia being moved somewhere. They don't care about that.
You know,
Janelle Harris pumping the fist, raising the fist, making noise. They don't care about us burning out something. What?
No, Mrs. Janelle Harris said it perfectly, though. That's why we need to build black wealth and have our own businesses and start to build power for ourselves. And, you know, which is interesting because that's a whole other topic that I've been wanting to talk on. But I'll let you guys finish first. But Janelle Harris is on point, right where she at.
Shout out to the Queen, Miss Harris, my brother's wife. You understand? The CEO of She Exists. She is absolutely correct. You understand? And this is the reason why. This is the reason why. This is the reason why the sit down is the sit down, where the truth is told and real stories unfold. Because we're not going to bite our tongue to appease a certain demographic of people. We're not going to bite our tongue to appease family and friends. We're not going to be on here being any different than what you see us in the public. Because one thing I want to say also, right, for that individual that said we sound angry, ain't nothing angry over here. You understand? Don't, like the brother said, don't confuse passion, right, for a subject, right, for anger. And I'm quite sure this individual, whoever said it is intelligent enough to see it for what it is. For whatever reason.
We roar like lions and lionesses, whatever.
Listen, man. When in order for you to understand where we're coming from, whoever you were that made that angry statement that we sound angry and all that crazy crap you're talking about, in order for you to understand where we're coming from, you gotta walk in our shoes. You gotta go where we went, bled where we bled, cried where we cried. You understand? And then in order to feel our pain and understand our struggle. Our struggle is real, and it's not just our struggle solo, single. It is a collective struggle because we are not the only ones that went through what we went through. We are the only ones that are ex-convicts, ex-prisoners, ex-criminals, ex-gangsters, ex-gangbangers, right? Ex-unknown, because when we did those things, we did not know who we were. That's why we're ex those things. We're not those things anymore. We speak from a place of intelligence, maturity, passion, and understanding, right? Because we've been there, we've done that. We've been there, done that. Right? So be clear on that. Ain't no angle over champ.
That's true, Malik. CDL, what up?
Oh no, I was going to speak on what Mrs. Harris was talking about. Janelle on point, and I'm so glad that she's in my life. And I'm gonna tell you because steel sharpens steel. You feel me? And you have to make sure that you always align yourself with like-minded people, right? That's the reason why we're here right now. But I agree with what she was saying, that we have to build Black wealth and build our own businesses. And so, because the only thing that puts us in a place of power here is economics. That's the game they playing. That's the chess game that Malik talking about. Yeah. Economics. You know what I mean? And it baffles me, befuddles me. I can pick up a whole bunch of words. They befuddles me. Don't tell nobody I got a little educated. I'm still from the hood. But it baffles me that the crabs in the bucket. I'm gonna speak on this if every show, if I have to. I don't care if I keep repeating myself. The crabs in the bucket syndrome is so disturbing within our communities, right? So when we're going to talk about accountability, we can take accountability. We can blame the white man for everything on the planet, but we need to take the same amount of accountability for our own people.
That's true.
It's even more important that we take accountability in our own communities so we can stop asking them for some shit they ain't going to give us. Right? I don't know. I'm from the hood. And when somebody doesn't give me what I want, I take it. Now, this is no, I still take it. Let me break that down for you. I don't take it like that no more. But I still take it. See, one of the things that I'm grateful for about me being an ex-convict, an ex-gang member, an ex-crackhead, whatever the hell ex I was, is I've learned to take all of those liabilities and make them assets for me today. So the same mindset that I had then, I take it with me where I'm at now. I'm still a hustler. I just don't do illegal shit. I'm still going to get mine. I'm going to ask you politely, or I'm going to go out there and get it. Right? So we've been politely asking these people to give us what we deserve, what was owed to us, and the things that we want. They're not giving it to us. So like Mrs. Harris said, you got to go out and get it. You got to go out and get it. Got to go take what's yours. We don't have time to sit around and debate back and forth about they need to give us this and they're not doing that. And man, we don't got time for that.
Let me ask you a question. So you said if they don't give it to you, right, you're going to take it, right?
Yes.
So I understand that to be a metaphor. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Someone else can misconstrue it and take it as an attempt to or the statement to commit a crime in the future. Ain't no criminals over here, right? We think outside the box, man, not along the lines. Understand?
Absolutely.
But I understand that, right? But I'm trying to understand. Well, let me give you an example, right? There's one city. I forgot where the city is at. I'm gonna have it for next week's show, right? And they're gonna give this very small community, right?
In Georgia, yeah. It starts with an E. Uric or something. Uric, Georgia. Yeah.
So they're gonna give these people a lot of millions. And it's a small group. The brothers and the sisters, it's like 9 of them. And they went so hard that they're gonna give them almost $100 million or so.
But it comes down. It comes out to $1,000 a month. They already broke it down.
But it's what the money is. What it's going towards. You understand? It's not reparations. You understand? It's an apology for what was done to that community due to systemic racism and how they held these people back. And there were no black and brown business flourishing. I mention that because these are like 9 people, right? And they accomplished that in less than 2 years. Because they spoke passionately, not angry. They spoke passionately, right? About what was done to them and what they feel was, you know what I mean, is their just due. They didn't speak about black reparations and reparations for all the black and brown communities around the country. They spoke about what they saw, what they witnessed, and what they were a part of, it happened in their community. You understand? So I mentioned that because to say this, man, we can do the same thing, man. Black and brown communities come together and do the same thing. The issue, let me tell you why they're not going to give reparations in a large scale. I'm gonna pass it, right? Who is gonna, like you said about the money being taken from defunding the police and give to these programs? Who's gonna decide where the money goes to? Who's gonna decide who gets how much? Who's gonna decide how the money gets spent and on what? That's what I believe these people in the government feel, right? Who is the messiah for the black? Who's the spokesperson for the black community, right?
They're saying
that's
BLM.
Gonna say that's damn sure not. That's gonna say where the money go to reparations wise. You understand? It's a reason why we have not gotten reparations, or the topic wasn't tabled, right, for discussion extensively over a period of time. And it's because who's gonna decide where the money goes? Who's going to decide who's eligible for the money? They got some white folks saying, some politicians saying that if we do this, it's going to be based on you proving, right, that your ancestors was enslaved and how that affected you. So they said that if you don't have any people in your family, right, that were slaves, or you're a descendant of a slave, you're not getting $1.
Right. AODS. That's AODS, but there's other organizations that are fighting for the opposite. Anyone that just is black. So there's a whole bunch of different things fighting out there that no one's talking about. But I just want to shout out that Mr. P is Master Yo, the one that we interviewed.
Okay. Right. What up, Mom?
He let us know that it was him. He switched his name up. He's in Cognegro.
Hey, yo. First of
Salute
all,
to Monster. Monster, what's good, bro? You ain't got to call me, Monster.
First of all, this country would be broke, bankrupt, if they even attempted to try to repay every African American in this country, because we're all descendants of slaves, period, point blank. So that's number one. Number two, I agree with, I believe, Ms. P, Juicy J, when he said we need to stop asking for a seat at the table, just as you said, sis. You know what I mean? And as my wife said, I've always said this, we need to stop asking and build our own. You understand what I'm saying? We build our own. Like I said last week, every door that was closed on us, we coming to buy the building. We coming to get that building. Because you're on borrowed time, not us. That's actually our building, okay? So we do need to create our own wealth in businesses and build our own tables from scratch. Back in the 60s and 70s, right? There's this government, our government, every city and state, it was a program called the Counterintelligence Program, right?
Yeah, COINTEL.
Oh, Mr. Hoover. Okay, COINTEL, So
COINTEL Pro.
Yeah, COINTEL Pro. This program, whole sole purpose was to monitor all of the speakers, the Kings, the Carmike Stokeleys, the Malcolm X's, you name it. And their job was to gather intel, suppress, eliminate, and get rid of them. We have been in this country oppressed, depressed, compressed, suppressed, repressed, and every press in the game. But still we rise, right? And this organization sole purpose was to mute, get rid of, shut up, kill the voices. But our voice will not be silent. The sit-down voice will not be silent. And that's why we're here, and we don't want you to be silent. Okay?
I need to say this because oh, go ahead. He got disconnected. What happened? I wonder if his thing died. Yeah, anyway, I just want to speak on what Roland just said. He said we need to change our way of thinking first. Hold on.
People get worried.
Hold on. You were disconnected for some reason. You totally were disconnected.
People get worried.
Can I read something real quick?
I was just gonna read something that Roland said real quick.
Okay,
Roland
well,
said we need to change our way of.
Both of y'all read it. Go ahead.
Roland said we need to change. He said we need to change our way of thinking. I just need to put this out for the about the three of us that's on this show. That is why we are ex-convicts. We come from the gutter, and if we can get up, and if we can build, and what we didn't know, we made it a point to learn. Then when we do it, other people see that it can be done. People who didn't come from extreme conditions that we did can see that it can be done. That's why we do what we do. So that we can not only talk about changing the mindset, we can show, not talk about it, but be about it. And show the change in the mindset. Change the mind, you know what I'm saying? Show people that no matter how far down the road you've been in the gutter, those who don't know, there's a way to find out what to do next.
There's a way back.
There's a path. You just have to get with like-minded people.
That's the bottom line. So I want to read something that your wife just put up, Ron. She said the program, right, is set because they keep putting slavery in our face in order to continue, for us to continue to stay there and keep that energy moving. So what I take from that is that there's a program in place, and I mentioned that before. You understand that these people, they play chess. We're the pawns, you understand? We're the sacrificial lambs or whatever, and they're the kings and the queens on the chessboard. They make the moves that benefit them, you understand, as they eradicate the pawns on the chessboard, right? We're the sacrifice. We are the sacrificial pawn pieces, you understand? We are the sacrificial chess pieces. Now, with that being said, imagery is devastating, right? If I constantly see, right, a certain race of people, right, being looked at or being shown on film and media, right, in a negative sense, right, sooner or later I'm going to buy into that. If I don't know how to think for myself, if I don't know how to do my own research, if I don't know how to think outside the box, if I'm not a thinker, period. So if you continue to just see what you see and embrace that and see it as facts, right, then that's what you're going to believe. So now with that being said, Black people, we've been constantly, and I don't like talking about this. I don't like talking this Black people shit, man. You understand? Because it's not just happening to Black people, but we're the ones who have been subjugated to this bullish, you understand, for over 433 years, man. You understand? We're the ones, right, that set the tone in this country, and we built this ish, and we're the one, we built it, right, and we're the furthest back. You understand? We built it all the way up here, still down here. You understand? Now, in order, and I'm optimistic. At least I try to be at times, you understand? But I'm not gonna lie, man. I'll keep it 100 with me, man, first and foremost, bro. Before I can speak and keep and give my 100s to you and my truth to you or whoever, I gotta first believe it's the truth, man. You understand? I personally, right, don't believe, right, that there's gonna be some systemic and lasting change for the betterment of Black and brown people anytime in the near future, man. Anytime in the near future, because there were so many things that have been put in our way, man. You understand? For us to get over and climb over and punch through and break through and knock down. They keep putting up wall after wall after wall, right? And we keep going up to that wall, right? And writing our name on it in graffiti, tagging, right? And we keep it pushing. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna put it on this past. There are so many things that are out here in the society, right, that we get involved with, that we embrace, that we use, and it helps us not to think about the struggle. It helps us forget about the struggle. You understand? Technology, the advancement of technology. You understand? Where technology is in 2021. It is a setback for us because we embrace it to the extent where we're not using it to its full potential or in a real way, in a lasting way. to benefit long-lasting change. You understand? We get on the internet, social media. You understand? We embrace. I said it. I've been saying this almost 10 years now. Right? The things that we embrace in the community, in the Black community, right? It's going to, the majority of what we embrace in the Black community, it is going to be a detriment, and it is going to be the inception, right, of the breakdown, right, in the Black community, and it's setting us back. Social media is setting us back. Some of our rap is setting us back, right? Some of the things, the dances that we do, and I'm not critiquing shit. I'm just looking at the age of people, you understand, that are involved in certain things, and it's public. It ain't private. I see it, the world see it. Right? I'm just looking at certain things that we embracing, you understand? And we make fun with it. We have fun with it. It's a happy feeling, a happy mode, a happy minimum. But it's a setback. These things, it is not helping us to advance and move forward. Education, 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 man. If we're not educating ourselves, educating our children, our grandchildren, our neighbors, our nieces, our nephews, our neighbors' children, if we're not having these conversations about what's important, man, instead of a Xbox 5, the new Jordans, the new fashion, the new name brand shit, and all the name brand fashion, we embrace everything. We embrace 99.9% of that fashion, man, is European, and these crackers don't give two damns about us, man. They just want our money.
But you know, it kind of goes, when you're talking about the imagery, Malik, it kind of goes hand in hand with what Janelle was saying. Like, if
that's
we
exactly
keep,
why I expounded on it.
Right. No, I'm
exactly.
saying I'm gonna put something else on it. Like, the more that they talk about slavery, those oppressors talk about slavery, the more the Black and brown community, the Black community talks about slavery.
Nah, we talk about it more than them.
No, hold on. It doesn't matter. It's a lot of it's because of the imagery.
We talk about it more than them. We make reference to slavery more than any other race.
The point is, it's because of the imagery. We keep talking about it because it's constantly, like Janelle said, being put in everyone's face all the time. And what that does, it keeps everyone in a victim mentality. Instead of looking at what Janelle's talking about and what Oran was just talking about, fuck asking them for anything, go get ours. Go build ours. Instead of worrying about what the hell images they keep putting out there, right? Or even us. It's called learned helplessness, first of all, right? It's the victimization that we suffer from, that we keep. Janelle said correct. I was just making sure I was on the right path with what you were saying, Queen. Because we keep, it goes back to what Oran was just saying too, and Janelle. Like, we have to build our own. We can't, and like you said, Malik, we can't keep asking them for shit. We can't keep waiting on.
I don't ask them for shit.
No, I'm agreeing.
I just want them to stay out my way. I don't ask them for nothing. Just stay out my way. That's it.
Right. Exactly.
That's it.
That's
stay in your lane while as I drive in my lane and create my lane for me and mine. Stay out my lane, man. You understand? I don't interfere with what you're doing. Don't come in my lane, interfere with what we got going on. That's it, man.
I just want to say I'm kind of jealous of Oran today because he's looking really sharp. I'm just.
Yo, I want that shirt, bro.
I'm like on some haterism right now. I'm in that haterism. I'm like, keep looking at his picture like he looking real sharp today, and we looking a little raggedy.
I wore these glasses because I didn't get any real rest, and as you can see my eyes, so that's why I'm tired.
I'm supporting my brother.
That's right. I'm emotionally tired. I'm physically tired. I'm mentally tired. I'm tired of all the crap and the BS and the bullshit that's happening in our society with our people and with people. You know, Malik, you mentioned about the walls being put up there, or CDL, always putting up walls and this, that, and other. See, I'm a firm believer of getting to the solution because we know there's a problem. What's the solution? If we know they're getting ready to build a wall, how are we going to get around it? Better yet, how are we going to prevent that wall from going up? First of all, let's do that. That way the wall don't go up. See, we can't continue to let the enemy advance when you know who the enemy is. We already studied you, okay? We have dissected you. We know your strategies. We know your plan, and we know your ultimate goal. We know these things. Guess what? Most of these things you learn about tactics and strategies in war, you learn from our people. our ancestors. So if we know these things, we have to begin to stop them before they even built. Okay, all the way back to the beginning, right? Let's start sending our children to school to be engineers, to be lawyers, to be astronomers, to be judges, to be politicians. We need our kids in those seats. You understand what I'm saying? In those positions of power, okay? Because if we're always talking about, oh, they, who are they? We know who they are. They this, they that. We know that. We taught y'all the game, really? Really? But what we allowed them to get in the drive. You know, you let that you drive in your car, you let the enemy sit next to you in your driver's seat for too long, eventually he's going to drive the car. The enemy is in your car. Because you kept letting him get on the passenger side. And you knew he was the enemy or she was the enemy. Kick him out the whip, okay? And drive your own car, okay?
Right.
So if we know there's an issue with these people, okay, when it comes back to what's happening, okay, with the George Floyds, and there's a potential for this. There's always going to be a potential. This is not the last instance. As CDL said, 3 people were hung in Cali over the last week. This is not the last instance of injustices that's going to happen to our people in the judicial system. There's men and women in prison right now that's got sentenced to the rest of their lives that shouldn't be there, because we got to go back to systemic racism, systematic racism. How did it begin? Where did it begin? See, we have to go all the way back. We can talk about the issue and the problem at hand right now. Where did it start? Yes, it all started, we all make choices and decisions. We knew right from wrong, moms and pops, somebody taught you right from, so we make choices. But where did it start? Okay, right. With our parents, their parents before them, and our great-grandparents and so forth, who was basically slaves, okay? So we spoke about this last week, generational wealth. Most of our parents had nothing to leave us, and their parents had nothing to leave them, to pass it forward. So where did all this start? Brothers is in prison right now that's never going to see the light of day, that should not be there, because there were systems and things set in place designed for them to already fail, because their parents had already failed in a sense, because they were set up, because it was passed down. So I'm thinking about the Veronza Bowers, the Mutula Shakors, the lady in New York State, Judy Clark, who was pardoned, and that's another issue, who was pardoned by Governor Cuomo, by the Cuomo, right? She's Caucasian. And so many the men and women are in prison right now that got no pardons, that should have been pardoned way before then. Obama, during his tenure, had the most pardons in history from since all presidents, okay, since all presidents. But this is another part. You get to speaking about Obama, all people get testy. Oh, don't talk about Obama. He was the first black president. And
so was Bill Clinton.
There you go. Yes. I'm down in him.
Yeah, so was Bill Clinton.
He had the most commutations and clemencies since all of the presidents. But there was things he could have done that he failed to do.
He had the power.
People, because no matter how you want to cut it, because look what Trump just did, what voted for him. He flexed his power and his muscle and his privilege and his position, and he can give a damn if you don't like it. I'm gonna grab you by your pussy, okay? Oh, he talked about the veterans, disabled, gays, black, straight. He didn't care. He did what he wanted to do. He gave Lil Wayne, Kodak Black pardons, right? Why did he do that? And I'm gonna get back to the point. He did that? Because he was hoping to cash in on the young black vote, the young vote, because he said, if I can commute distance it'll make me look like I'm not the racist that you portray me to be. But he was playing chess, as we're talking about. It was strategic to make moves so he can get votes. Okay, it backfired because it didn't work. But he did these things. He did things that our brother could have done, okay, and should have done. I'm bashing him. It's my brother. Hello. Hey. Hold on. The same way you, the listener or the people can say, well, oh, Ron, you did X, Y, and Z. I'm that. But look what I'm doing now. I'm doing the work now to help my people now, not what I've done. Okay, so when we having these discussions, at least when we all having these discussions, again, we come to you in truth. I hate it that there are brothers and sisters behind those walls that should not be there in the first place, that should have gotten these commutations well before so many others. These men and these women who got caught up in that pay-to-play scandal to send their kids to school, paid those colleges, you know those stars, a couple of months ago, last year, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months. Oh, they home right now with an ankle bracelet. Yeah, our asses would have been in prison. There's two different systems here. And this is why I brought up the things from the 60s and the 70s. It's because people will love nothing more to silence your voice, to not have you be active, to say that your blackness doesn't matter when we say, okay, BMS and Black Lives Matter. We're all, listen, a black life can't matter until a black life truly matters to a black life that matters. Period. Period. That part, whatever you want.
Like Cuban Love say, that part.
Okay, so I get passionate, and people can call it what they want to call it. I'm for the equality of all people, not just one race of people, one group of people. Don't stand on the sidelines and tell me you got your fists up talking about black power only when it matters to you. But when you in your castle, in your house up high, you know, right, and you live in, and you all uppity, and you forgot where you came from, but you duck your head out there every now and then because you got to make it look good. But your intentions aren't sincere, and we're gonna peep you out, and we're gonna snuff you out, and we're gonna talk about you. That's the sit down. Yeah, we're gonna tell it, and when we find you, we're going to talk about you. So before I close, I'm gonna shut up. What are you people out there right now who think about? Because I saw an interview with Kodak Black a few days ago. He was standing next to his attorney, and he said, "This is my daddy right here. I love this guy." Grabbed his head and said, "This my daddy, my pops." I had a problem with it. Because oftentimes some people come along, and yes, for them, it is about the bottom line of dollar, and they're going to get more notoriety and more fame off of your black ass. And they're going to do everything in their power to get you free and help you. Yes, that's their job. That's their profession. But for me to stand on national television, I'm talking about myself, and call another Caucasian man my daddy. Yeah, it's my daddy. How y'all feel about that? Because I didn't like it. And at the end of the day, yeah, you know what I mean? Kodak made some songs I liked last year, before he got locked up. So I'm not hating on him. But like I said, when we find you, here on the sit down, we're going to expose your ass, and we're going to talk about you, and we're going to talk about the facts. I had to get that off my chest. This is madness anyway. So hey.
I think it's I mean,
distasteful.
I could come with two perspectives on that, right? Because I do dual thinking sometimes, right? And I'm very analytical, and I think fast, and I speak slow sometimes. Right?
I said, so I'm a critical thinker, analytical, and I look at the smallest things, but some shit I just don't make excuses for. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's a fact. I look at that, right? And in a way, it's kind of embarrassing, you understand?
Right.
I didn't see it, but I felt you. I definitely felt you, because I know it had in order for you to elaborate the way you elaborated, bro, it had that affected you. You understand? In the way when you was like, damn, you know what I mean? But I looked at that. I can take two things from that. One is like he's saying, this guy here, I love this dude, man. It's my pops right here, man. Without saying why. You understand?
He
Maybe
said
this
daddy.
dude, maybe,
No, he said my daddy.
He said this my
yeah,
daddy.
this is my daddy. Same shit, same shit. But maybe, yeah,
This is my
yeah.
daddy, right?
But you see how he grabbed the dough head? This is my daddy, but he sunned him. You know what I mean? He grabbed him by the head and sunned him in a way, right? If you know, from my perspective, that's how I call it. But
That's new talk,
it's
brother.
still,
That's our home talk. Everybody not getting that. That went there. Now he didn't son him. The man son him. Oh, because this my daddy right here. Listen here, I'm gonna be your daddy all day. But listen, you know I want to speak to Donald Trump on your behalf to get you that pardon now. Okay, I need that 200,000. Okay,
that's what I was getting ready to get at.
I need my
What I was getting ready to get at. Because this is my daddy right here. He taught me something. I learned something from him, and he took me in a place and he put me in a position, right, that I couldn't get to by myself. You understand? So,
but it was all part of the pond.
Exactly, because who are the primary people that attach themselves to young, rich, ignorant black men? 95% of the time, it is someone of not a black skin, not of dark skin. You understand? And for some reason, it's like I know a person, I know somebody out here, she has her business is popping, right? In Texas, popping, right? But she will not
That's bullshit, Cuban
do
love.
business. She will not do business, certain business, in a certain level with a black person. And I had to ask her, like, why? But when she gave me her perception or her reality of why, I had to respect and understand it. You understand? But nevertheless,
let me be clear. Didn't Kodak Black get out because of one of Trump's pardon? He's one of the pardon people.
He was the second one.
Right. So Cuban Love said she knows him personally and that he's really from the hood, but he had to do that to get some freedom. Not that's the excuse. No, he didn't. He didn't have to sell out for no freedom. Him and Trump are already partners.
Listen, first of all, the dude wasn't facing no time like that. A pardon was warranted. That's number one. He probably was facing 7 years tops, if that. You understand? Lil Wayne was facing maybe 7 years tops in the feds because the gun case he caught was the second one. The first gun case Lil Wayne caught was in New York. See what I'm saying? The second one he caught was another state. So that made it, federally eligible, you understand, for maybe a 10-year minimum. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Don't do the crime, you can't do the time, man. Like, these dudes, they get in these positions, and like the brother said, he probably put about 250,000. You understand? And use this lawyer as the puppet to speak. Because listen, man, Donald J. Trump is a con man. Yeah. I have an aunt that knew him for years. You understand? Listen, and I asked hold on. I asked her when he became president. First of all, he was shocked when he was backstage at his
inauguration.
What do you call that?
Not inauguration. Not inauguration. When he was backstage, when he got the nomination, when he won the nomination,
the dude was shocked. He did not think he was going to win it, but when he won it, he took full advantage of it. This dude is a con man. He doesn't care about anyone or anything but a green dollar. The dude, this is what he said about his own supporters in the past. He said, I'm glad coronavirus hit American shores because now I don't have to shake their hands, right? And I'm not going to use the term that he referred to his voters. Over 70 million people that voted for him. He said, I'm glad the virus has hit American shores because now I don't have to shake these hands when he's out in the public at his little rallies and his functions, man.
CDL, what up?
First of all, I don't care about Kodak Black. He's just another brother to me that put a couple beats together. So I don't give him that much thought. But I was looking at what Janice said. I mean Janice. and she said the colonizer pimped him. And I'm not going to say I don't agree, but I don't think it's okay for us to keep excusing when we make stupid ass decisions, right? If you want to sell out your, they didn't pimp him. In order to get pimped, you have to be a victim or a volunteer. You got two choices, a victim or a volunteer. He was a volunteer. He wasn't a victim. He committed to whatever crime. He sold out, decided to run with Trump. They got him out, and end of story. But, he's not a victim. Kodak Black was not a victim.
You know who the victims are?
He made a decision.
Do you know who the victims are?
Who the victims?
All my white brothers and sisters, right? That voted for this dude. You understand? All our white brothers and sisters that voted for this dude, that he tricked. But it is now coming to the forefront. It's now coming to a head that he tricked him. Yo, this dude had people he had them donating to his campaign after he was out of office. His election campaign, they were still every month, people's credit cards was being charged thousands of dollars, hundreds and thousands of dollars a month, reoccurring charges for election campaign that ended in fucking January 2021.
Man,
He
just had to give back $100 and something million to these people.
He about 64 million. That's what he's gonna tell you. He's gonna be like, listen, I don't want to hear that shit. I just gave him $64 million. Okay.
Hey, the victims are the Cubans.
Yo, this dude is gangster, man.
Since I'm Cuban, let me break down the Cubans who were victims.
This dude is a gangster,
They so not smart. I'm just gonna say that politely. They so not smart and manipulated by Trump that a lot of, not all, so let's get that clear, because I'm tired of y'all saying that I voted for Trump just because I'm Cuban. Most of us did not vote for Trump. Let's just make that really clear. But those dum-dums that did in Florida, they got played because a week afterwards, he put Cuba back on the terrorist list.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Those are the ones that were the victims of his manipulation. And I'm laughing.
I told that boy the con man, yo.
Got him.
Hey, me and Cuban Love was on their head, them Cubans. The hell wrong with y'all?
It's funny. It's funny right now. You understand? But the way he set this country back, he set us back maybe 45, 47 years, right? With his antics and his ideologies, you understand? And that's something that, see, culturally, a culture can set another culture back a century, if not more, or let me back up, a half a century, right? If not more.
We just get ahead so we can get set back. We can't even get ahead to get set back. That's all I'm saying. Can we just get ahead just a little bit so we can get set back? We didn't even get the opportunity to get set back.
That's a fact. That's an absolute fact, man.
Y'all know Kodak Black, Lil Wayne, Kamala Harris, and all their supporters coming for us, right? Because
listen, man. Listen, don't come. Let me say this.
Hold on, bro.
Let me say this.
We're gonna be on somebody's talk show.
Listen.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. You're haters. You have no facts. You're disrespectful. You're angry. You're trying to get ratings. That's why your show ain't going. Hold on. You come on, bro. That's why your show ain't going nowhere. I don't know what y'all trying to do. Nobody's picking you up. Stick with your little yada, 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 because you're all nobodies. You're talking about the culture. What part of the culture? That shit killed me right there. This is the culture. Listen, let me tell you something. Who defines the culture and what is the culture? Because the culture I know don't be promoting all this whorism and pimping themselves, buffoonery, clownery, suckerism, not on the front lines, not really supporting, need a camera there to get, that's not the culture. The culture is not wearing your pants down, sagging to your ass so you can see your drawers, you know what I mean? Or what part of the culture, where that come from? Listen, we are going to get the hate mail. We're going to have CIA and Secret Service up our ass for talking about Kamala. You already getting it, CDL. Malik, you getting ready to get hate mail for all that shit you talking about. I'm getting ready to get it too, because let me tell y'all something. Y'all is a bunch of nobodies talking about Lil Wayne, Kodak Black, Kamala Harris, Martin Luther King, and everybody else. You have no relevance and no facts. You're a piece of, but guess what?
I care.
I care about those 2.3 million people who are in federal, state, and local jails in this country. I care about all those mothers and fathers who are on welfare that shouldn't be there. I care about all those men and women who are getting gunned down in the streets by the police, and even those ones, very important, that our own people are gunning down every single day. And we'll turn around and talk about what the police doing. And talk about we need to be in them streets. Black Lives Matter. And yada, yada, yada. And I'm not bashing Black lives, because there's a lot of soldiers in the streets and organizations out there, and prison organizations doing hella work right now. That's my concern. If you out there and you disrespecting your brother, you disrespecting your sister, African American or Latino, brown, whatever you want to call it, and you helping them to get into an early grave, but you want to turn around and be upset at what the police is doing to our people, I suggest you take a good look in the mirror, have a discussion with yourself. Because if you feel that way about the police, and you know you're getting ready to go out and gang bang and possibly shoot another brother, kill yourself. How about that? Kill yourself. Shoot yourself. Okay.
You're gonna get shut down for that one.
Let me jump on that. Let me jump on that, right? Let me jump on that, right? I love
Don't
it,
kill
right?
me.
Nah,
Don't kill
I love it, right? First thing first, right? Me, my brother, my sister, we don't know you to have something against you. You ain't do a damn thing to us for us to feel like individually, to feel like we gotta attack you and lie about you and lie on you. We ain't coming like that. We got receipts. That's number one. If we mention your name, if we mention you by name, we got receipts. And some of those receipts is video and some of it is paper. That's number one. Number two, we ain't afraid of none of you. We ain't afraid of none of you. None of you. Be clear, none of you. You understand? Number three, the people. This is to your statement about the brothers, the Black Lives Matter protesters when they protest. This is why I don't like the Black Lives Matter movement, man. I never did, and until I see them in Brownsville, Brooklyn, Flatbush, Brooklyn, and in Compton, and the east side of Chicago, the west side of Chicago, you understand, and New Orleans, until I see them in these projects with them flags and them banners talking about Black Lives Matter. Whenever a black child choose another black child, I don't hear that Black Lives Matter shit from nobody.
Facts.
From nobody. You understand? Because Black Lives Matter. If a Black life only matter, when see, this is what you're doing. When you out there on the so-called front lines screaming Black Lives Matter, when a white person kills a black person, what you're doing is you're giving the word nigger. You understand? You giving it respect. You giving the word nigger. You understand? Validation, because you saying only this person matter because he was killed by this white person. So you can't call him a nigger and you can't kill him, but I can call him a nigger and I can kill him. It's hypocrisy.
Hypocrisy, brother.
It's hypocrisy. If you can't listen, I can go to Compton. I can go to Compton. You understand? And talk about Black Lives Matter. You understand? I can go to New Orleans and talk about Black Lives Matter. I can go to Brownsville, Brooklyn, Chicago, because I'm cut from the same cloth. Real recognize real. These folks, they can't move through the hood with their Black Lives Matter banners because they know they're not going to be recognized as real, man.
But it's because they don't care. It's all clout. It's all clout. What? It's all clout, and they're working for the white man.
But if you look at the Rainbow Push Coalition, right? Started by who? The Honorable Reverend Jesse Red, the Honorable Reverend Jesse Jackson, right? Right? Don't you know the Rainbow Push Coalition was an extortionist movement, man? The Rainbow Push Coalition was about business, man. It was about agriculture, man. It was about shutting down certain corporations, you understand? when it suited them. For example, if something that they felt was racist happened and they responsible for it, we're gonna boycott you until you call me into your boardroom and sit down and you cut me a check to my organization. The Reverend Al Sharpton, love him, National Action Network. He took a page out of the Reverend Jesse Jackson's playbook with the Rainbow Push Coalition. So don't be in the, when he got stabbed in his heart, damn, they got killed in New York. You understand? His homies hollering at him from the Rainbow Push. Listen, man, you can't be out there in the streets like that, bro. You got to back up a little bit, man. This is how you get the money, man. And so they knew how to marginalize, you understand, and march to a certain beat, right? To get their funding. And I'm not against that. I get your money how you want to get it, bro. But don't start screaming this Black Lives Matter stuff, man, when it only happened to a white person that kills a cop. You understand? Kills a black person. You understand?
You know what? And let's break that down. Let's break that down because I think some of our
black life truly matters to a black life that matters. Go ahead, sis.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
bro.
I want to break it down because I think some people are misunderstanding maybe what we're saying. What we're saying is we're not saying that there's an issue with people standing against police brutality at all. We're with you on that. But why are you not equally in the hood or in the big in the big populated cities like Chicago?
Come on now, you know why?
Why are we not there when our people are killing our people? Right?
There.
Let's just keep it 100. Let's keep it 5,000. Right? Why is the Black Lives not mattering then? Why does it only matter when we don't want to take accountability for our own fucking actions? Black lives, like Oran and Malik just said, Black lives matter when Black lives matter all the time when Black lives are mattering. It's not, it shouldn't be picking and choosing when Black lives matter.
And that was my point.
If a brother killed another brother down the street from here, there should be just as big of a protest right then and there as there should be if a cop killed him or if a white man killed him. Black lives either matter or they don't. You don't get to pick and choose.
And
Black lives don't matter to Black Lives Matter. Black lives don't matter to the Black Lives Matter movement.
That was my point, and that was Malik's point, and that's your point. Because
it don't matter,
as
man.
we're saying, we're not saying that we shouldn't be outraged about police killings. Of course we are.
Absolutely.
But we have to equally matter, BLM, when we, or not us, but our people are out here. Listen, I gave you the figures 2 weeks ago.
Every black life that dies matters.
In 5 years, people, in this country, the police has killed over 5,000 people. In 5 years, recorded. We have the facts, the paperwork, the receipts. In 5 years, over 5,000 people.
Okay.
In a 1 year time, in a 6 month span.
Talk about it.
Blacks, African Americans have killed more than that number in a 30-day span. 5,000 people. So we have to be equally outraged when it's our people doing it. We can't give our people a pass. We can't say home abusing your kid, abusing your wife, abusing your family members, and give them a pass because we're black or African American.
So, you know, and white people will use the same thing against us, right? White people will use that same argument. Well, black people kill black people. That's not what we're saying. So we're not even talking about that. We're talking about people of color holding people of color accountable. Fuck what they talking about.
What we're talking about is an organization that came together during the protest of George Floyd and other people that got killed around the country, and they found a way to create $1. They created a lane to get $1. If you read the bylaws, if you read the bylaws of Black Lives Matter on their website, right? Black Lives Matter is 3 black women that don't give a fuck about black men. Excuse my language, I'm gonna be blunt. You understand? Black Lives Matter was not to include black men. Read up on Black Lives Matter. Do your research and stop running around here promoting. Stop running around here promoting. Stop running around here promoting this ignorant ideologies. You understand? This is what I've said before about the things that we embrace is going to soon be our downfall, either individually or collectively. We hear these terms, Black Lives Matter, these groups, and we don't do no research. Where they come from, who they are, who that, what's they about.
Black Lives Mattering is not a hashtag, y'all.
Black Lives Matter is a self. Let me. We gonna get on that. We're gonna.
I'm gonna break it down one
destroy
day.
Black Lives Matter. We're gonna destroy that concept in a couple of seconds.
Let's hashtag a black life can't matter to a black life truly matters to a black life that matters. Let's hashtag that. Okay. We're not discounting anyone anyone else's truth, facts, and what happens to our people at the hands of the police. We have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to build our own tables, make our own doors, and stop expecting the savior, somebody to do the work for us.
Waiting for the great white help.
Place the blame where it belongs, but then we got to look at ourselves now. The wall is going up. How we're going to get around it? Matter of fact, as I said before, we're going to shut that wall down. We're not even let you build this in this community. We're not going to let you build it in our hearts. We're not going to let you build that wall in our mind. Okay? That's the first thing we're not going to do. Okay? So we just speak, people, we love y'all. We just speak from experience here to sit down because we've been there. And as I said before, people can say what they want to say, try to shut us down, try to mute us. But guess what? We'll find a way and another platform. We'll get out in the streets on the bullhorn and we're going to bring it to you. We're going to bring it to you. You know, sis, I got to bust a move. Bro, I got to bust a move, but I'm going to stick around until y'all wrap it up right quick.
All right, y'all. Hey, for those of you guys who are here, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're going to be back on Thursday. Thursday, we have a powerful interview. With Tyrone Muhammad from Chicago. Yes, yeah, I can't remember what it is, but anyway, I have it written down. Anyway, so be sure to be here Thursday. It's gonna be lit, and I thank you, my brothers, for holding this platform with me, man. Having my back, having my six.
Yeah. Right back at you.
You got it in today. Shit, you weren't joking.
Y'all let me be too quiet. I'm gonna come out like a freaking panther. Oops, did I say panther? I didn't mean panther. Yeah, I did. Anyway, okay, we love y'all. And we'll see you guys Thursday. And until then, love, peace, and hair grease.
Like that part.
That part.
Shout out to Cuban Love. That part.
Shout out to every one of you that come on and support us. You know, we have nothing but love for y'all, you know what I mean? Day ones. Y'all family, and we feel we can talk to family. And even if we disagree at the end of the day, guess what? If we fight, guess what's going to happen? Nobody going to talk about Cuban Love. Nobody going to talk about Rick James. Nobody going to talk about John J. 11. Nobody going to talk about anybody come on our show. Guess what? Because we family. What we going to do?
You swing, I swing.
Yes.
You swing, I swing.
So we thank you. Thank you.
And shout out to the new people. There's 2 or 3, 4 new people that showed up and supporting us, and they're giving us their feedback. So I appreciate y'all for being here, and you better be here Thursday. I can find you.
Yeah, one sister, I didn't catch her name because the message is scrolled down. Yeah, huh?
Shawnee. Her name is Shawnee. Shawnee Brown.
Thank you, sister, for tuning in. We appreciate your support. Please like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, invite your people. Equally important, as always, once this sit down is over for the night, and let your sit down continue in your homes, in your community, you understand, in your social media, on your cell phone, you understand, amongst you and your people. Because the sit down is for an hour and a half, 2 hours stops here, but the sit down is 24 hours, 7 days a week. Understand? Because it's not just about this platform, We try to use this platform to spark a dialogue. So when we're off the air, the dialogue continues, God willing. You understand? Because it's not right now. Huh?
Also, I just want to shout out to Cuban Love. Cuban Love was she made a couple comments about she feels like sometimes she can't speak on this because those of us who are light skinned ain't dark enough, and people make
it ain't got nothing to do with it.
Hey, but we're gonna have that. I mean, you're gonna remind me next Monday. We're gonna have that as one of my topics. So don't trip. We'll address that too.
For the sister Noni Mars that just tuned in, she said she missed out. Don't worry about it, sis. Yeah. Come back Thursday. You understand?
Not only that, you can watch all of our shows. They'll still be up, so you can go back and watch all of them and then rewatch this one. But yeah, so don't trip. People love. Hey, when you swing, I swing. Don't trip.
Yeah, shout out to the sister Noni Mars for tuning in. You know, you can see us on YouTube for all the last 5 episodes. You can tune in next Thursday, the same time, same channel, you know, for a different topic. But always know to sit down and when the truth is told and real stories unfold.
Black magic.
Black magic.